would you ever buy your appliances from a store that also sells garden tools, lawnmowers, and lighting fixtures?
We compete very well with the big box stores. We try to meet or beat their prices because now when they buy from us, anything goes wrong, we're only a phone call away, we're on it.
The only big box experience we want you to have is watching your new appliances from SK Lavery being delivered to your home.
We're your #1 appliance store.
Snow days. You love them or you don't. But cry or celebrate, one team is always here for you. Nobody does closings and delays like Channel 3. Covering Vernon and all of Collins County, Eyewitness News is everywhere.
It's Pilgrim's New Year sale. Get up to 50% off, plus pay no interest for 72 months with no minimum purchase. So not only will you save big, you'll get some of the lowest monthly payments ever through Tuesday at Pilgrim Furniture and Mattress City.
Tonight, it's a new year, and SEAL Team is back with all new episodes.
Talk to me.
She's wired. She moves, we die.
New missions.
They hijacked a plane to jailbreak friends.
They want prisoners released.
The U.S. doesn't negotiate with terrorists.
And new love.
Do you want to talk about it?
Oh, you mean when you kissed me? That was pretty good, wasn't it?
New SEAL Team, CBS tonight. Tonight.
He can see his victims, but they can't see him.
New year, new Criminal Minds.
You're gonna be in my eyes.
CBS tonight, 10/9 Central.
Okay, my two co-hosts are dancing.
How can you not dance to that?
I'm knowing. It's friends. I'm impressed. Welcome back to CBS Reporting. Right now, it's time to show you some of this morning's headlines. CBS Cleveland affiliate WOIO reports airport drinking fountains may have sickened 6 passengers on a Frontier airline flight. The flight was traveling from Cleveland to Tampa yesterday. An airport representative says the illnesses may have been connected to a drinking fountain at Cleveland Hopkins International Airport. The fountains in the Frontier concourse at the airport were shut down as a precaution. The cause of the illness remains under investigation.
USA Today says we're learning a woman jailed for alleged drunk driving had really suffered a stroke and didn't get help for days. The 64-year-old was arrested in 2017 after appearing disoriented at a ferry terminal in Washington State. A breathalyzer test showed no alcohol in her system, but authorities decided to hold her because her eyes appeared bloodshot, and she repeated that she'd had a drink that morning. After being released, she suffered seizures and was hospitalized.
That is a lesson to us all. The Tampa Bay Times reports a Florida woman was pulled from her sinking car on New Year's Day after a frantic search through dense fog. Sheriff's deputies rescued the 20-year-old woman after the car had rolled upside down into a ditch of muddy water early yesterday. She said she lost control after another vehicle cut her off. The woman called 911. Fortunately, she only had minor injuries.
Our CBS Houston affiliate KHOU reports history was made when 17 African-American women were sworn in as Harris County judges yesterday. A group of 19 women in total campaigned with the slogan, "Black Girl Magic Texas," with the local Democratic Party. Well, guess what? They all won. Yeah. 2 were reelected to their positions last November, and the 17 others were sworn in at a New Year's Day ceremony in Harris County. It's important to have representation, to run for office,
Absolutely.
to be in power. The only way you're going to get power is run for office.
There it is. Great tease to that story I'm doing on Saturday.
That's right.
Oh, what's the story you're doing on
about
Saturday?
This one?
these judges, yeah.
Okay.
Great group photograph there of them. And the Wall Street Journal reports on the dry January effect and how taking a month off from alcohol can have multiple benefits even months later. A study published in the journal Health Psychology said participants on average had fewer drinks per sitting 6 months after taking a month off from alcohol. They lost an average of 3 to 4.5 pounds, improved liver function, healthier skin, and better sleep were also reported.
This morning, we're kicking off our partnership with TED to highlight individuals and ideas that are shaping our world. It's all part of our new series, Ideas That Matter. Huntington, West Virginia Fire Chief Jan Rader is one of those people. Rader's work fighting the opioid epidemic in her city is featured in the Emmy-winning Netflix documentary Heroin. Her efforts earned her a place on this year's Time 100 list of the most influential people.
Rader helped establish quick response teams to visit and speak with patients within 72 hours of their overdoses. She also helped start ProAct, a one-stop clinic for those suffering from substance abuse disorder. And she is focused on self-care initiatives for first responders who help patients. In her TED Talk, released this morning, Rader says these programs are starting to make an impact in her community.
Currently, our overdose deaths are down 50%. This epidemic is far from over, but each and every one of us has a part to play in this epidemic. Just by listening and being kind to somebody, you have the ability to make a difference in their lives.
And Jan Rader joins us at the table. Good morning. Happy New Year. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. Huntington, your city, was once called the overdose capital of America. But as you pointed out, you're turning that around. What's working?
I think that the big issue, or what has really worked, is we have come together as a community. We have hundreds of people working diligently and putting their ego aside to work on this issue. And that matters. You know, we have competitors coming together to form something called ProAct to provide a way to get somebody help within 2 hours of being assessed, whereas before it might take a couple days or a week to get somebody help who's suffering from substance use disorder.
It's an all-hands-on-deck approach, right? And the first is taking away the stigma.
Stigma is huge, and it's huge in two ways, not only for those suffering from substance use disorder, but for the first responders who are suffering from compassion fatigue and need mental health services. So we're trying to work on that.
So helping them is as important as helping the victim.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I went to Martinburg a few years ago and ran into a group of women called the Hope Dealers, and they were one-stop shop. Really were volunteers out there getting people to where they needed to go. How much are you pushing efforts like that?
I think that it is, we're pushing it day after day after day. We've been working on this in Huntington for 4 years. We have other communities around the country coming to talk to us about what we are doing and what matters.
So let's specifically break that down, exactly what you're doing.
Yes.
First of all, naloxone, right?
Naloxone in the first responders' hands, and friends and family. We have over 2,000 saves from friends and family having naloxone at home to be able to administer it to their loved
ones. What took that to happen? West Virginia said, here are the resources to do that? Or
we changed legislative laws so that we could do that, and we got grants so that we could provide that for our first responders, and our health department was huge in doing that.
That has reduced deaths. Then you talk about self-care for first responders. Explain that.
Okay, so this, first responders, we are the cavalry. We want to help somebody. In an instance where you have somebody suffering from substance use disorder, you might Narcan them over and over and over again and then find them dead. And we feel like we can't make a difference, and that takes a toll on us. So we need to provide our first responders with ways to deal with the stress that they see, and to give them tools that they can use to help those suffering, like being able to take them to ProAct, or the quick response team can actually help them.
You talk about stigma and reducing stigma. How do you make that psychological change, in effect, both among the victims themselves and among the public?
I think that the first step is talking about it. We have to talk about it, and it might be a painful conversation, but we have to talk about it and get the information out there.
What role does the drug industry play in terms of flooding your state with painkillers like these?
Oh, they flooded it, and we can't even, there's a lot of blame to go around, but the fact of the matter is this is where we are, and we have to move forward, and we don't want to dwell on that. We want to move forward.
In the past, with heroin and crack, there was essentially criminalization of the behavior. What lessons have you learned from that in terms of the compassionate care that you're seeing now?
Somebody suffering from substance use disorder or addiction is actually a fragile person. Okay? They are hopeless, and the way we treat them can make their situation better or worse. So even a wisecrack made by somebody can make their situation worse. So we need to treat them with kindness and compassion and show them that they are a good person and that they do deserve to get better, because they can.
Jan Rader, the first female fire chief in West Virginia.
Yes.
Love to see how your leadership is making real change. A role model and inspiration for many people. So nice to have you here, Chief. Thank you. And to learn more about Huntington's compassionate response to the opioid epidemic and watch Jan's TED Talk, congratulations. I know that is not easy. Visit our website at cbsthismorning.com.
A unique program helps out new parents after they bring their babies home from the hospital. We'll show you how nurses are making house calls to check on their smallest patients. Our Dr. Tara Narula is in our Toyota Green Room with how this is helping to lower health care costs. But first, a check of your local weather.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Today is going to be a colder day than where we were yesterday. Yesterday in the mid to upper 50s. Today only in the low to mid to upper 30s. Partly sunny and cold. Sun was up at 7:19, sets at 4:31. Now, your 7-day forecast does include a little bit of light precipitation. Tonight around midnight through very early tomorrow morning could be a coating to an inch, snarling up tomorrow morning's commute. We're going to keep you posted. That's a possibility. And then turning out to be mostly sunny tomorrow afternoon. Friday looks good. Saturday looks wet.
More news stories from where you live. Eyewitness News, weeknights at 11.
Slow drains slowing you down? You don't have to deal with that. For only $243, the professionals at Ayala will clear your mainline drain, or it's free. That's right, free. What are you waiting for? Call your friends at Ayala today. You'll love our 5-star service. Hello, Ayala.
As a physician, the bulk of what I do is deliver babies. The experience is minimized by the fact that I'm hiding my teeth. Instead of covering with my hand, I will put the mask on. My smile was no longer there.
When Richard came in for his consultation, he didn't want to smile. He was embarrassed.
At Clear Choice, we want patients to absolutely walk out of here saying, this was the best decision I've ever made.
He reassured me, very professionally, this can be done. Clear Choice is the future. Between the technology of being able to 3D map out my bone structures and then to custom make the implants and put it in knowing that it can stay there for the duration of my life. Why would I want to have dentures? When it was all done, I had my miracle.
And that's what he wanted to give back. He wanted to be able to smile.
I'm glad I get to smile again. It changed my life.
Disney on Ice presents Worlds of Enchantment. See stars from Disney's Frozen, Cars, The Little Mermaid, and Toy Story.
Tickets on sale now. Playing at Excel Center January 10th through 13th. For tickets and more information, visit DisneyOnIce.com.
Now, ShopRite does it can, selling lots of brands of everything in cans, with savings all across the stores. A can brings you so much more. Stock up on your shopping list. A can brings you all you wish.
Assorted General Mills cereals are 4 for $7 with your card. Uncanny.
Come on into ShopRite stores or save online. Stock up now. It's ShopRite's famous can time.
In 2018, we laughed.
This is the best news of my day.
We cried.
It was just chaotic.
It could have been me.
We voted.
I'm reaching out to each and every one of you.
We united.
Supporting local farms, supporting local growers.
We hunkered down.
It's amazing the damage these storms can cause.
We gave back.
Thank you, guys.
And you witnessed every moment here. Whatever 2019 brings, we'll be here for you. Channel 3 Eyewitness News, Connecticut's #1 local news.
Photos from your town and behind-the-scenes fun from Channel 3. Follow us on Instagram at WFSB News and share your pictures with us. #WFSB.
I seem to be having a problem with my electrical outlets. They seem to be making this kind of sound.
Oh, no worries. We can certainly take care of that for you. At Ayala Home Services, we speak your language.
Our ongoing series, What's Working, looks at innovations that are paying off. In Durham, North Carolina, all parents are offered a helping hand in their first few months of their children's lives. 30,000 families have welcomed registered nurses into their homes as part of the Family Connects program. Our Dr. Tara Narula shows us how it's working to help lower healthcare costs and raise parent confidence. Tara, good morning. This seems like one of the most brilliant ideas I've ever heard. I love it.
Such a great initiative, public health-wise. The first year of life is crucial to the developing brain, but parental instincts are not always enough to take on the challenges of caring for a newborn. Sometimes it takes a village to support, listen, and embrace the entire family.
Hi, good to see you. Come on in.
Good to see you again.
Okay.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Hi. Oh, hi, Jenny.
Nurse Jenny Jensen is delivering some extra care.
You can just hold her, and I'm going to give her a little listen.
Right to 5-month-old Cora's doorstep.
You just going to stretch you out.
She's tracking pounds and inches along with the parents' stress levels.
We have had our challenges, you know, ups and downs.
Can you tell me more about what was going on?
This past Sunday, I just felt sad.
Before they leave the hospital, new parents like Zawadi and Damon Walker are offered free home checkups.
I think we both had the same fear about being left to our own devices with this whole new life.
The first visit comes a few weeks after birth.
Was she sleeping too much? Also with the breastfeeding, is she getting enough nutrients?
In addition to organizing feeding and sleeping schedules, the nurses address safety conditions in the home, working with the pediatrician if there are health concerns. But some of their most meaningful advice covers work-life balance and personal relationships.
She took time to ask about you and you together.
Yes. She gave us tips, told us not to be afraid to reach out to our support so that we can have some moments for ourselves.
It's a very personal thing to bring somebody into your home. Just about everyone in your life has an opinion about how best to care for that baby. We're able to provide evidence-based information for families that they can trust.
The nurses help parents find daycare, government benefits, even the safest car seat for their baby. Between visits, nurses stay in touch with their families by text and phone.
Just wanted to call and check in and see how your weekend was with baby Harper.
Fielding questions that may not surface at the doctor's office.
Pediatricians are wonderful professionals, but they simply cannot have 2 hours to come into your home, and that's what our nurses are able to do.
Duke University's Kenneth Dodge developed Family Connects.
Parents are very anxious. Maybe the system worked when mothers stayed at home full time, but that's simply not happening very often today.
And the program is paying off. For every dollar spent, it's estimated $3 in healthcare costs are saved. Emergency visits for babies in Family Connects were cut in half.
Parenting is more positive. And then in the long run, we found important outcomes such as lower child abuse rates and lower health care costs for emergency room visits for injuries and illnesses.
Even experienced parents are embracing the help.
Hey, would you like to get a book that I can read to your brother?
3 years ago, Megan Dunphy Daly gave birth to her daughter in Washington, D.C.
Would you like some avocado?
After the birth of son Caden in Durham last May, Megan thought she and husband Jason still had a few things to learn from an expert.
She watched me nurse him and provided advice on that. It was much easier than bundling everybody up and taking my older daughter to the doctors with us.
Hi, baby boy.
If I could have had this with my daughter, I would have been a much more confident first-time parent.
He loves you.
The program's impact is being felt nationwide. 16 communities have sent nurses to be trained in Durham, and 14 more sites are being added soon.
So who's paying for it?
So there is government funding, but also there's funding from the state level, the community level, profit organizations, and nonprofits. So it's a group effort, but a huge public health impact from something that's so simple.
I absolutely love this idea. Now, you pointed out that it lowers healthcare costs and emergency room visits. Explain how that works.
So Dr. Dodge gave a great example, which is, for example, if a mother sees a rash on her child at 2 in the morning, in the past she might have taken them to the emergency room. Now, if she's connected with a grandmother down the street in the program, she can call her up and maybe have her tell her, you know what, that's not so big a deal. You don't have to go to the hospital. Also, they teach families safe practices about not putting your baby on a high up area where they could roll off, making sure they have a crib in the home. So things like that where they avoid injuries and accidents.
Are there any restrictions at all on what families can participate?
There's not, and this was a really important point, is that it applies to families of every socioeconomic background, every demographic background, because as they say, every family has needs. Every family needs support, and this is something we don't ask for support, but we are evolutionarily, biologically based human beings that need support. That's how we grow.
I took care of my sister growing up, and even when I became a mother, I thought there are so many things that nobody taught me that I didn't know about. Everybody needs help.
Yes, and he also makes the point that, look, we talk about children being the future of our economy, of our society, but they're human beings now. They're part of our community now. Right? And we need to invest in them now, as we would with anybody else.
And they're more demanding than ever at the beginning.
Right now. Just my luck, it comes 16 years too late.
All right, Tara, thanks. And for more on Family Connects and a step-by-step guide for soothing a fussy baby, go to our website, cbsthismorning.com. And you can hear more of CBS This Morning, including extended interviews and original content on our podcast, available on Apple's podcast app or wherever you like to download your podcast. We'll be right back.
You're watching CBS This Morning.
Introducing the all-new Early Warning Weather Tracker on Eyewitness News.
Center Subaru is sharing the love and giving you a choice. Starting now, Center Subaru offers free 2 years maintenance or lifetime warranty. Your choice, only at Center Subaru.
Nobody beats our bottom line price.
And nobody treats you better.
Center Subaru, still the one.
When the going gets tough, get Carter.
Hey, insurance companies. Before you try to intimidate, bully, ignore, or mislead another accident victim, listen up.
I'm Carter Mario. I know what you're up to, and I won't stand for it.
So you can save your scare tactics for some other law firm.
I've got a daughter. Nothing scares me. When the going gets tough, get Carter. Call 800-900-6700.
Dr. Lori Greenwald, Real Patients.
My life drastically changed after she did a procedure. It was amazing. It was instant.
Dr. Greenwald is wonderful. She's very compassionate. She's very thorough.
She's the person who I trust, and that's why I keep coming.
I just look so forward to coming. I really do. It's made such a difference for me.
Dr. Lori Greenwald, the real deal for your veins.
This January, Channel 3 is putting the win in winter.
Go out and play.
Win a Powder Ridge prize pack.
Warm up in LA.
Win a trip to the Grammy Awards.
Score big. We're your home for Super Bowl 53.
We're giving away 10 55-inch flat screen TVs.
Brady, from the big game to music's biggest night.
This January, Channel 3 Eyewitness News is putting the win in winter. You know those winter days that you just want to stay home and watch Channel 3? Well, you can't. But don't worry, Early Warning Weather is out here with you. The Channel 3 app, Facebook, Instagram, and WFSB.com. Braving another Connecticut winter everywhere.
Today's best mix with today's best weather.
Listen to the Anna and Raven Show every morning for the Channel 3 early warning forecast.
On Star 99.9, today's best mix.
Drone 3 making you an eyewitness from the sky.
Drone 3 shows you an aerial view over the facility.
Drone 3 giving us a view over the scene.
Bringing you stories like no one else can. Breaking news and breathtaking views. Drone 3 exclusively on Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Center Subaru is sharing the love with employee pricing on all 2019 Subarus. You pay what we pay now through January 2nd. Employee pricing only at Center Subaru.
Nobody beats our bottom line price.
And nobody treats you better.
Center Subaru, still the one.
Snow days. You love them or you don't. But cry or celebrate, one team is always here for you. Nobody does closings and delays like Channel 3.
About 600 people in northern Wisconsin kicked off 2019 with a traditional plunge into frigid Lake Michigan. The polar bear participants braved air temperatures in the low 20s. The water, though, was slightly warmer at 32 degrees. In New York City, thousands of swimmers charged into the water at Brooklyn's Coney Island, where the highs were in the 50s, which was quite a bit warmer than last year when it was 17. 50s, that's pretty balmy.
Yeah. I want to share something with you guys. I am never, ever going to do that.
Every time I see that, I just go, why?
That does it for us. Be sure to tune into the CBS Evening News with Jeff Glor tonight. See you tomorrow right here on CBS This Morning.
Bye-bye.
3 cares because you, our viewers, care.
Hunger is a real problem here.
We see a great need. We want to keep the whole family warm.
Every penny goes to support children coming to camp.
Helping a child in need. Comforting someone who is cold. Feeding local families. When we put out the call, you answer.
A truck full of turkeys.
It's really important to give back.
So people who are less fortunate can have nice warm coats in the winter.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
From the bottom of our hearts, thank you.
This is fascinating.
This is very important.
This is extraordinary.
This is welcome news.
This is just one of the facilities where migrants are sent.
This is tragedy on top of tragedy.
This is a life-threatening storm. This is serious.
This is a very big day for us.
This is a masterpiece.
This is the kind of warm island welcome they're getting.
Wow. This is pretty spectacular.
This is important to point out.
This is starting a conversation in every household.
Connecticut winters can be brutal.
It is snarling up things.
That's why Connecticut relies on early warning weather.
We want to see what's going on at your house.
Weather alert days to keep you prepared.
The models are coming in hot and heavy.
Connecticut's only live Doppler to keep you safe.
Wave after wave of heavy snow.
The most experienced team to keep you in the know.
Certainly some good news.
Getting you through another Connecticut winter like no one else can. Early warning weather, exclusively on Eyewitness News. In 2018, we laughed.
This is the best news of my day.
We cried.
It was just chaotic.
It could have been me.
We voted.
I'm reaching out to each and every one of you.
We united.
Supporting local farms, supporting local growers.
We hunkered down.
It's amazing the damage these storms can cause.
We gave back.
Thank you, guys.
And you witnessed every moment here. Whatever 2019 brings, we'll be here for you. Channel 3 Eyewitness News, Connecticut's #1 local news. This January, Channel 3 is putting the win in winter.
Go out and play.
Win a Powder Ridge prize pack.
Warm up in LA.
Win a trip to the Grammy Awards.
Score big.
We're your home for Super Bowl 53.
We're giving away 10 55-inch flat-screen TVs.
Brady,
From the big game to music's biggest night.
This January, Channel 3 Eyewitness News is putting the win in winter. Now, your Eyewitness News morning update.
Good morning. The time is 8:55. I'm Nicole Nalepa. We continue to follow this breaking news. A man accused of stabbing his girlfriend 30 times in a car right in front of her son in Hartford has been arrested. Edgar Manuel Maldonado was captured around 5:30 this morning in New York City. The NYPD will be keeping him in custody until they turn him over to Hartford police. The stabbing happened early yesterday morning in Hartford. Neighbors tell us that the woman escaped from the car and banged on doors near Natick and Dart Streets. She is now in the hospital, and her 6-year-old boy was found safe in Worcester, Massachusetts, and is back with his family this morning. And after spending 4 months at another school because of a fire, hundreds of students will be returning to Plainfield Memorial School today. Back in August, a fire started, causing some major damage at Plainfield Memorial School. And since then, students have been attending class at Killingly's old high school. Scott, over to you.
Thank you, expectant mother. Nicole, you're welcome. 8:56, we're taking a look at the temperatures out there. The typical overnight low is about 18. We didn't get there this morning. We got down to about 23, 24 at Bradley. And you can see the temperatures are starting to rebound now. We're in the mid to upper 20s, low 30s. Don't get me wrong, it is much colder than it was yesterday. So it does feel a little bit like winter. Now, the winds are nowhere near where they were yesterday either, but we still have some sustained winds anywhere from 6 to 13 miles an hour. And that does make it feel a little bit cooler. You'll notice we've got some upper teens, mid to upper teens, real feels in parts of northwest and northeast Connecticut, so you certainly need that winter coat. Now, we've got bright, beautiful sunny skies out there for you, but you can expect partial cloudiness as we move through the day today. And then we're expecting a little bit of mixed precip overnight tonight through very early tomorrow morning. Could lead to a coating to an inch in parts of Connecticut. And then after that, the rest of the day tomorrow is beautiful. Have a great day. We'll see you for noon and better at 3. Take care.